Hi, everybody. This is GM John Fedorowicz for ICC SimulMaster, July 21st, 2018. We'll get started shortly. I just got back from the Canadian Open the other day. Did okay, 6 out of 9. Made some draws, a little lazy, but it was a good vacation. And we took the train up there, and it's really not a bad train ride. And the customs gets on, and that takes 2 hours, and otherwise it's about a 10-hour train ride, and it's a beautiful train ride to Montreal. And next year, I guess I'll play in the Quebec Open, which starts today, I think. So they have the Canadian Open, and then they have the Canadian Open a week later, followed by the Quebec Open. So I play in Canada a lot. Also, in a couple of weeks, heading to the U.S. Open for that also. Okay, let's get started here. Trivial Pursuit. We played many times. Let's see. What should I play to do? Good luck to Alahote also. I think today maybe I'll play E4 every game. Let's see what kind of practice we get with this. Ears, Heyen, Hippopotamus, Indiana Fats, Modge 16, Moving Dutchman, Nezhmadinov, who always plays something crazy. Let's see, what's a good thing to do against Nezhmadinov? If he's going to play something crazy, against Nezhmadinov, I'm going to go D4. No Mercy for You, Pearl Hacker, and Carvallis. E4, E5, Knight F3, Indiana Fats, get a Sicilian, Heyen double E pawn, same for Hippopotamus, Trivial Pursuit, a lot of double E pawns, E4, D5 from Aslan 777. Let's see, will he go Knight F6 or Queen takes D5? Alahote, another Sicilian. Modge 16, E4, E5, No Mercy for You. I guess we're going to get some Rui Lopez's today. And Indiana Fats, I always do open Sicilian. Sometimes on E4, E4, C5, Knight F3, Knight C6, I play Bishop to B5, but I haven't done that in a long time. I've just been pretty much an open Sicilian person. Okay. Ear says, welcome back to ICC. Have fun killing me. It's not so, it's Ears is a very tough opponent, and the only time I get the better of Ears is when he plays these. Every month I say this crazy Duncan Suttles perk stuff, which is some sort of Canadian national thing. And if you don't know who Duncan Suttles is, look him up. A lot of good games, crazy stuff. Openings called the Rat. You get things like the Rat, the Hippopotamus. Also another player that played like that was I Am Lawrence Day. Also played the Rat. I remember the first time I played Lawrence Day. It was a Canadian Open 1976, and I played him in the first round. And I thought that the guy was I thought he was an A player because I didn't look at the ratings and I didn't know who he was. And he played the Wing Gambit, and I didn't know what the Wing Gambit was, so I took it, and I kind of played okay though. And so it was pretty funny with that, and so that was my introduction to Canada. And when I was a kid, actually, me and my friend GM John Tisdall, Michael Rode. We were big fans of the Canadian chess, and we all played that stuff. But then at some point we realized that it was a little bit ridiculous, and we started playing normal chess. Okay, Indiana Fats, let's see what's happening here. Looks like we're going to get an accelerated dragon, and let's see. I usually play the Maroxy bind, but lately I've been experimenting with some stuff. And let's see what happens with this. I'm going to try this thing that I have taught my students a lot. Hippopotamus has gone Bishop C5, and I will go. Let's see. The Knight takes E5 was played in the old days. I don't know. I'm going to try this Knight takes E5 stuff, see how it goes. Alahote has gone queen to b6. This is a line I've played a lot, and it's a good line for black. And I wrote an article saying anytime you can chase the knight back to b3, it's a good thing. Okay, ears, we're getting into the perk. And Mod 16, Rui Lopez's, Carvalhais, Steinitz, Rui Lopez, Aslan 777. We're getting into a Scandinavian or center counter, whatever it's called nowadays. Nejmedinov, of course, is doing something crazy, but it's not so easy to play crazy against the against D4. So what it is, it's an Albin counter gambit, which is crazy, but not really ridiculous. Okay, let's see what Moving Dutchman's up to. Moving Dutchman has gone e4, d6, d4, g6. I'm just going to play a classical perk. I studied that with Walter Brown when I was his coach. No Mercy for You, Castles, Rui Normal, Rui Lopez, Indiana Fats, Pearl Hacker, some sort of Sicilian, Carvalhais, Rookie 1, Steinitz kind of stuff. Maj, looks like we have a chance to get into any number of things. Let's see here. Aslan 777's gone bishop to g4. I'll go h3. Ears, classical perk. Now Alahote has gone a6, and I'll go bishop to d3. Trivial Pursuit Castles, another chance for a perks there, and Carvalhais has gone g6, and that's with the fianchetto Steinitz type of stuff, and I'll go d4. Hippopotamus has retreated with bishop to d6, and sorry, I'm looking at the Yankees are playing the Mets, and it looks like the Yankees tied it somehow. So pawn takes e5 against Hippopotamus, and the line I've been teaching my students against Indiana Fats is interesting. It's this knight takes c6 stuff. G3 fianchetto against Nejmedinov. Bishop b3 retreat. I saw that Kramnik lost to Nepa, yeah, and I looked at that game. I was Kramnik. Well, Kramnik has sometimes gets us days off also, but and Kramnik still really a strong player. Okay, let's see what they do against Hippopotamus here. Is f4 some kind of good move for me, or am I supposed to wait? This is a question. f4, bishop to d6, e5, I don't know. Should I try it out and see what happens? Let's see. What are the tricks there? So if f4, bishop d6, e5, he goes check. And then is there some kind of queen e2 thing? All right, I'm going to go sharp there and give it a try. No guts, no glory, or whatever they say. All right, Alahote's gone knight f6. That's in this queen b6 line. I guess they like to call that the I guess they like to call that. Somebody caught the ball, so I don't know what's going on here. So they like to call that the Grivas system after my friend Greek GM Estratios Grivas, and it's I've played it. I've gotten good positions with it. It's a slightly off the book and gets completely playable positions. And there's a lot of castles, queenside lines. There's a lot of different lines. Okay, Maj has gone d6. I'll go c3. Bishop b3 against Trivial Pursuit. And castles from Carvalhais. And I guess I go knight to d2. That was pretty normal there. And against Heyen, I am afraid of I'm really afraid of the Marshall Gambit. I've always been afraid of the Marshall Gambit. And I've played the Marshall Gambit a few times myself. So in this position against Heyen, I'm going to go d4, which my friend GM Ilya Gurevich has taught me a long time ago. Okay, now let's see what to do against Hippopotamus. I'm going to try this e5 and play very sharp. Alahote has gone bishop to e7, and I'm going to go king h1. Maj has gone castles. And I could go h3 there, but I always do this pet line with d4 and done okay. And that game I have some good scores with that game, and you could check out a really famous game, and it's famous. My game with Samuel Reshevsky, and it's funny why it's famous. It's famous because he tried to cheat me during the game. The usual business, offering a draw and then tried to take it back. And I think Al Lawrence wrote something in Chess Life about that a few years ago. It was Lone Pine 1981, I think it was. And very funny, ridiculous story. So, all right, now let's see what's going on with Hippopotamus. Tricky variation. And Alhote, let's see. Now, F4, D6 is the way this one usually goes. So I guess I'll just go F4 there. Pearl Hacker, we'll get into maybe it's a knight or maybe it's a dragon. Carvallis, where do I move my bishop back to? I can move it back to B3, but then he might get a knight A5 later, or I can move it back to C2. In those positions where they go B5 and your bishop has choices, it's always good to figure out which one is not giving the opponent time. Knight F6, removing Dutchman. I'll just go bishop to E2. Looks okay. And knight takes D4 from Hayen. I trade the knights. Aslan has gone C6. Now, let me see. Aslan went bishop takes F3. Let me see if there's a way to take advantage of this by maybe castling on the queen's side. Let's see how to do it, though. Bishop to E3, maybe bishop to D2. Let me see. Perhaps it can turn into some sort of gambit. Who knows? Queen E2 against Alahote. Knight E4 against Hippopotamus. And now I have to see. He's threatening. I'm keeping an eye on knight G3 ideas. Let's see if his queen showed up out there. Queen E2 looks reasonable, attacking Hippopotamus's knight. And now Ears has gone knight C6, and I'll go H3. And E5 against Hayen. C3 against Trivial Pursuit. We already have one of those. And I'm going to castle queenside against Aslan and see if I can mix it up here. Okay, C3 against Hayen. Knight D5. Indiana Fats is doing the pawn sack. Let's see here. E6 from Aslan. And I guess I should go king to B1 and get out of the way. Queen takes D5 from Indiana Fats. He'll go rook to B8. I'll go bishop C4, and that's the book stuff. Let's see. Carvallis, I'm threatening to just do knight F1, typical Ruy Lopez stuff. Knight F2 check from Hippopotamus. I'll go rook takes F2. Bishop C2 against Maj. And Aslan's gone bishop to B4. And now, do I have anything fancy? Or do I just go A3? Let me go A3 and get the bishop here, and we'll see what happens after that. Alhote has gone queen C7. I'll go bishop D2. Moving Dutchman castles. All castles 2. That's a solid game. Queen takes F2. Hippopotamus has given me 2 pieces for a rook. Very happy there. Pearl Hacker, bishop E2. And let's see what's going on here. Hayen has gone D6. And I'm looking to see, should I just go pawn takes D4? Is there or does he have will queen trades help him is what I'm wondering. If I think the queen trades are going to help him, then maybe I could put queen F3 in and keep the queens on. I think I'm going to try queen F3 and keep the queens on. Alhote has gone B5 normal, and I'm going to go rook A E1. Ears E5, and let's see, no mercy for you. I'm going to go play we'll have another one of these Ruy Lopez's, and Hippopotamus has castled, and I'm going to go knight C3, just get my pieces out. It's a solid position. Bishop takes C3. I have the bishop pair against Aslan, but he's put together a pretty solid type of position there. Okay, let's see what Hayen is up to. Hayen just went bishop to E6. Bishop to E6, and I'm looking at pawn takes pawn stuff. I don't know, ways to gain time. I guess he would take back with the knight if he did that. So I think that I'm just going to go pawn takes pawn. Try and keep him bottled up. Deshbedinov early in the opening and an Albin counter gambit. Nothing big yet. Ears, I like this line for white ears. Knight e2, interesting line. Bishop g4, we're getting good practice with that today. Hippopotamus, do I want to take on d6 or leave it there? That's a question. I think I'm going to take it on d6. Keep the pawn structure. Don't give him any targets. If I stay solid, I think it's a good, probably just about a winning position. Okay, Aslan has offered a queen trade. And I feel like queen trade there would probably be, it's probably pretty decent for him. I'm wondering if I could go queen to g3 and turn down the queen trade like that. I'm going to go queen to g3 and see if I could turn down the queen trade. Carvallis has gone a5. I'm not sure what that's about. Then I go knight to g3. Moving Dutchman is doing the double fianchetto. Pearl Hacker has gone b5. Now, is Pearl Hacker's, what's going on here with Pearl Hacker's move order? I'm not sure. I'm going to go pawn to a4 and try and take advantage of this. Pawn takes pawn from Hayen. Castles from Indiana Fance. And I will castle also. Bishop e3 from Hippopotamus. Just nice development. h3 against Maj. Let's see, no mercy for you. Knight bd2 looks okay. And we have Aslan has castled. Okay, so now Aslan is maybe threatening knight to e4 again. Let me see if I could stop it with bishop to d3. Bishop f1 from against moving Dutchman, staying solid. Now, Ears, we had this last month or 2 months ago, and Ears defended very well, and I think he was going to make a draw, but then I don't know. I don't exactly remember, but I thought that he might have blundered or something. But it's okay now. Hippopotamus has gone a6. I'm just going to retreat with bishop to d3, aim at the king's side. a5. Aslan is going for a pawn storm. And it could be a good pawn storm. Let's see what's the deal here with the pawn storm. He's going to go b5 and then b4. And that's it's nothing to sneeze at. So I have to be really careful. You never know. I might start begging for queen trades soon, and I'm thinking exactly that. Also, if the pawn storm showed up and I just ignored it, what's the deal with that? All right, I'm going to try pawn to b3 and see if I could slow down the pawn storm. No mercy for you. Rook to e8. Can I do my maneuver with knight to f1? I think I can. So that Trivial Pursuit, bishop c2, and Hayen has gone c5, which looks like the right thing to do. Now, what happens if I go rook to d1? Will that push his queen somewhere uncomfortable, or do I want to wait? No, I'm going to try rook to d1. And C, and then on rook to d1, he would go queen c8. I think I'm going to just develop with knight c3. Maybe I'll get a hit later on. Okay, Ears has gone knight a5, and bothering me with knight c4 ideas. I'm going to go queen a4. We've done this before. Pawn takes pawn against Maj. Bishop e7 against Al-Hote. And the big thing in this Al-Hote game is I load up, and then when do I go e5? You know, somebody wrote an article saying that when they were white, they felt like their attack didn't work, and they were black, they were really afraid of e5. So the question here is that, should I go e5 or I'm going to go e5? Let's see. And moving Dutchman has gone e6. That's the usual thing here to set up the wall. And I'm just going to go h3 and get my pieces out. Queen c7 from Indiana Fats, attacking 2 pawns. Let's see what's up with this. Now, this is one of the good lines I believe Indiana Fats is playing, and I want to see now what sort of reply should I do there after Queen c7. Sometimes I'm trying to make 2 connected passed pawns, and that's a possible thing to do. So he castled, and now I'm looking to see, we both castled, and then he went queen to c7, attacking my b2 pawn. The thing with the b2 pawn is his rook could get trapped in there. So, and there's lots of moves here. There's bishop to b3, but then he takes on e5, and he's hitting 2 pawns. There's queen c5. I think that I taught queen. I think I taught my students queen c5 because I felt like it was the most solid one. So I'm going to try queen to c5, and here comes Aslan's pawn storm. He's gone pawn to b5, and I'm going to just play bishop to b2. And now let's see what to do here against Hippopotamus. Hippopotamus, if he's not careful, he could have problems. And what happens on bishop to c5? Winning material. And then the board switches. Pro Hacker on b4. I go knight to d5. h3, Trivial Pursuit. Knight g3 against No Mercy for You. All right, now, what did I do against Ears the last time is a good question. I think I'm going to go rook on a to d1, and then I'm thinking to see, do I have any minor improvements? Carvalhes has gone knight to b8, a very odd-looking move, because it's not really a Breyer system. Can I take advantage of it, or should I just keep on developing? I'm going to throw my bishop out to g5 and see if it does anything. Maj has captured on c6 right away. I'm going to go knight bd2. Hayen has come out with knight c7. That looks pretty normal. And I'm going to go bishop to c2 and aim my bishop at his side. And now for Aslan, he's gone a4, and I have to lock it with b4. And Moving Dutchman's gone knight bd7, and I'm going to go bishop to g5. Bishop takes rook against Hippopotamus. This game makes me very happy. And now Trivial Pursuit, do I have this knight takes e5 idea? Trapping his bishop after he takes on e5. Now what to do here against No Mercy for You? Looks like now I'm trying to remember this. I don't have h3 in this position, so does it matter? Good question. So, I mean, I could go h3 and then it transposes into like a Zaitsev or something like that. But I don't know if I have to. All right, I'm going to try a3. I'm going to try to play this position without h3. All right, Hippopotamus has gone rook takes f8. And I'm thinking of just trying to mate a Hippopotamus here. I'm going to go f5. Queen c8 from Carvalhes. What is he up to with Queen c8? I don't know. Could he be really threatening? It's always good to look. Maybe something. Maybe bishop takes h3 works. I don't know. I'm just going to go queen to d2. Knight to b6 from Aslan 777. And now let's see, what is he up to here? I'm going to go rook on h to e1. Bishop h4 against Moving Dutchman. And g6 from No Mercy for You. And I think now I'm going to put h3 in. And now bishop c4 from Hippopotamus. And I'd really like to get some business going here against Hippopotamus, try to mate him. Maybe f6 or bishop takes f6. Maybe bishop e4 is good. I think I'm going to do bishop to e4. See what he does there. We have knight e8 from Al-Hote. And at least I forced him back to there. And now I have to look, is there any business with queen to g5s or something like that? I remember, I wish I had a game. It was a game where I was playing against Greg Shahadi, and I played black against him in this opening. And I don't know if the game is anywhere. Whatever he did, he played really well. And he managed to get some kind of pawn sack and get a knight to c5. And then got a bishop to e4 and created pins on the diagonal and tied me up. It was pretty good. Now, I don't know if I could do this. That would mean I would go knight e4 here and sack the pawn like that. So I'm not really sure if that's my situation there. I'm looking at queen h5 just to see if it provokes g6. I don't know what if that really does anything. So, all right, I think I'm going to go queen h5 and provoke g6 and see if I can take advantage of some holes. Okay, now Aslan has moved his queen back to d8, and it's become like a really weird positional type of position here. His knights can be very strong. I'm looking at crazy stuff. I don't know if I can go d5. He's going to establish some strong knights on d5. But after that, then what happens? I think I'm going to go queen to f3 and just try to get my pawn storm going. Now, no mercy for you is bishop at knight a5. I have to go bishop c2, otherwise he wins my e-pawn. Now, Hippopotamus has gone queen to d7, and I'm just going to go f6. I'm going for the decision there, the fast decision. Queen c8 from Heyen. And now I'm looking to see maybe I could soften him up a little bit somewhere. I don't know if knight e4. I'm going to try knight e4. We got Carvallis has gone c6. Carvallis has drifted a little bit. I don't like his position here. I don't really understand what he's doing. I'm just going to build up and play rook a d1. I think that's enough to keep up the pressure. We have Ears has gone knight to b7. Regrouping his knight to d6 or to c5 sometimes, although he should be careful about that. And now, where should my knight go? I mean, I was thinking that my knight was going to d3 or b3, but when it gets there, what does it do? All right, I'm going to try knight to c1 and see what the story is. I'm going to try my pawn storm against Aslan. His knights look nice. All right, now, against Pro Hacker, this position could be very nice for me. First of all, looking at knight takes f6, I'm going to go knight takes f6 and first see how he takes it back. Hippopotamus, I'm going to see if I could get my queen in there and mate him. Just keep an eye out for back rank threats. No mercy for you has gone c5. Typical stuff. And I guess I'll just go d5. F5 from Alahote. I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised. I thought that he would. I thought g6 was forced. Well, I'm going to take en passant. Knight e8 from Aslan, and I'm gonna try to keep the pawn storm going. I'm going to go h4. Take that bishop against Trivial Pursuit before it runs away. b5 from Hippopotamus, and what stops me from doing queen h6 with unstoppable mate? Hippopotamus, I think your opening was a little suspicious. I think that it's actually a pretty good opening. Look it up. I think you're supposed to go bishop takes d4, and I think that's meant to be okay. All right, now we got Aslan is maneuvering his knights. He's trying to get into c4, and I'm just going to go queen e2 and stop knight c4. If he wants to go in there, it's a pawn. Okay, Nezhmadinov has recaptured his pawn, and the Albin counter gambit. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to go for development. So it's a typical business here with this Albin counter gambit. He takes his pawn back on e5, and now I'm going to see what to do here. Maybe I take it and go b3. A slight amount of development. Nothing, no big deal, but enough to give white an advantage. So I'm going to go knight takes e5, and moving Dutchman has gone queen to c8, and now I'm looking to see various things. What is he up to here? He's unpinning, obviously unpinning. I'm looking to see if e5 ever does anything for me. I don't know about that. Maybe he's trying to go c5. All right, I'm just going to go queen to d2. Knight g3 against Maj. Queen d1 check against Hippopotamus. I'm sorry, but that's being a little bit ridiculous. Rook takes d1. And now against Heyen. Heyen's going rook to d8. And I'm looking to see what's my best here. It feels bishop to g5 looks... Does bishop to g5 look nice? That's what I'm wondering here. bishop g5 or queen to, I don't know, queen to g3 maybe, trying for some attack. Let's try that. Okay, against Trivial Pursuit, I managed to pick up the bishop pair, and let's see how that one goes now. That looks pretty decent. He just went queen e7. It's not lost or anything for black, but getting the bishop pair like that should give white some advantage, some stuff to play for. And I think maybe that's enough sometimes in those positions, just to put the pressure on the opponent. No easy win, but the bishop pair, and then to see what's the best way to build up there. Knight d2 obviously should be played first, developing, maybe heading for there, and now I think hippopotamus, queen g7 looks like mate. So 1-0 for me already. And now Aslan has gone knight to f4, and I'm not sure. I don't know that I saw this. So I think I feel like I'm just worse here now. And where should my queen go against Aslan is a good question. I don't know. I'm wondering about queen e5. I'm gonna try queen to e5. It's a tricky business what he did there. Okay, g6 from Maj, and I'm going to go bishop g5. And knight a6 from Calvalis. All right, now let's see. So I've got all my pieces out. What's the next thing to do here? I'm going to take on e5. See if I could do something there. Nezhbedinov, of course, has recaptured on e5. And now he's not really threatening my c2 pawn, c4 pawn. So it's just, but b3 is a good move anyway to maybe fianchetto and work on his side. Okay, Alhote has gone bishop to c8. He had to defend his e pawn, and what other way was there for him to do it? So let's see now. Can I go knight to e5 here? I'm going to try knight to e4. Bishop c8 from No Mercy for You. And getting his bishop out of the way, and maybe trying to reorganize his knight. I'm gonna go. I can't go pawn to b4. He might go knight c4. I think I'm gonna go rook to f1 back. Typical Rui Lopez kind of idea. All right, now I wasn't sure if I was threatening anything on Hayen, but it seemed to it got him to go backwards anyway. So what's the deal? What's the deal with this? I'm going to try. Do I want to try bishop to g5 or knight to g5? I'm going to try bishop to g5 against Hayen. Trivial Pursuit has gone rook a to d8, and so that's a knight d2, rook a to d8, and I should just get out of the way. I guess my queen is lined up from his rook long distance. I'm looking at queen f3. Looks like a nice place for the queen. So queen f3 it is. And now knight to d6 from Ears, and I'm gonna let's see. I'm looking to see, was he bothering me my e pawn at all? I'm gonna just go rook to e1 and just go very slowly here. Knight takes d3 from Aslan, and it's a peculiar position. I'm gonna try pawn takes against Aslan and see if I could do something. Indiana Fats after queen c5 has gone queen takes e5, and this is a typical kind of business here. So queen takes e5, and now let's see what I do here. Looks like I have to trade, and then I don't know. It could turn into a draw. I don't know if there's any other moves here. Let's see. I don't know. Rook a e1. Does it do anything? Let's try rook a e1. Interesting position. Yeah. Okay. Now, moving Dutchman's gone knight h5, and his idea probably is to go g5 and go after my bishop. So, and I'm not sure he could get some dark squares like that. That's for sure. So, an interesting idea on his part. Probably not bad. The only thing is, are there any sacrifices anywhere? So I think I think that that this is a good idea. I'm gonna try. Well, I'm gonna try G4 on him. That would be the thing for me to try. Queen takes F6 from Pearl Hacker, and I think that I'm just gonna cancel. Queen C7 from No Mercy for You, and I'm gonna go Knight H2 and see if I could get that F4 Ruy Lopez business going. Knight takes E4 from Carvallis. And what is that? Is that's a piece, right? And I'm just going to go Knight takes E5. So I don't know what happened to him there. He was playing the opening pretty good. It looked like he had things under control, and then all of a sudden something happened to him, and now he's just worse. Okay, now let's see what anything interesting against Al Hote. Any sacrifices anywhere? I'm going to try Knight to G5. Knight E8 from Aslan looks like a good move. His idea is simple. He just wants to defend the mate so that there's no D5 stuff for me. And I'm just going to go G5. Positionally, my position is really kind of ridiculous looking. So we got to see what the story is. It's I tell my students sometimes you get a bishop, and it's not a bishop, and probably that's a suspicious looking situation if there ever was. So we'll see what's going on. Okay, C4 from Trivial Pursuit. I'm going to go Knight F1. Al Hote has gone E5, and his position got opened up a little bit now. What do I like? Do I like F5, or do I like Queen H? I'm going to try Queen to H6. Bishop takes H3 from Carvallis, and now I'm looking to see. Well, I mean it's a bishop, isn't it? So I'm just going to take on H3. Now I'm up 2 pieces. Moving Dutchman has retreated back. Knight HF6. So I saved my bishop pair. I feel like I had to do that. I think that it was necessary for me to do that. Okay, now let's see. What sort of ideas is Moving Dutchman up to here? I think I'm just going to go Bishop to G2, trying to keep him bottled up. We got No Mercy for you. Okay, now No Mercy for You. Am I ready for F4? And is F4 good? Usually you want to delay it a little bit, make sure it doesn't improve his pieces. So I'm going to go F4. Queen D5 from Aslan. So this is Aslan's idea. It's a positional game here, and so what can I do to bother him? I think I'm going to trade queens. Not completely happy about that. All right, now and let's see what's the deal here. Anything with Knight F6 check. I don't know. Knight F6 check. He might even be able to take it with the pawn because he's Knight on G7's defending the mate, and I can't take it with the pawn. He trades the queens. So let's see what to do here. Do I want to go? If I go Bishop takes and Knight G5, that was my original intention. But what's the big deal there? All right, I'm going to try Bishop F4. I keep thinking I have some good stuff coming up, and then nothing happens. All right, let's see what to do here against Trivial Pursuit. The Sicilianish Ruy Lopez is kind of thing to do would be to go A4 at the proper moment, but it's not ready yet. Okay, now let's see what here. Carvallis has gone Queen takes H3, and I think Queen F4 looks like a good all-around move. If I don't get mated here by accident, I think I just win. So Queen F4 it is. Now Bishop G7 for No Mercy for You, and I'm definitely going F5. I have a influence when I was a kid of a Karpov game against Unzicker. I've spoken about that game before. Look it up. Unbelievable chess. Rook C1, Bishop F5 from Al Hote. So I'm going to take. And his Aljote got problems. Rook E8 for moving Dutchman. And I'll just go Rook AD1. And is Knight E6 threatening a mate and a queen against Aljote? And King H8 for Maj. And now what do I do against Maj here? Some kind of build-up. Queen D2 seems reasonable. There's a lot of normal Ruy Lopez business going on here. Aslan's got Knight to D6. I'm going to go Rook to C6. So I have an open file to bother him with. So I have a terrible-looking bishop. My pawn structure is really disgusting. But somehow I'm still fighting here. Okay, now Trivial Pursuit. I spoke about A4. I'm going to go Bishop E3 and develop a little bit more and then maybe do it. All right, No Mercy for you guys going King H7. And I'm on the lookout for stuff. I think I should just go Bishop to E3 and come out with the stuff. Maybe double rooks. Okay, Bishop takes E5 from Carvallis. I'm going to go Knight takes E5. Knight F5 from Aslan. Aslan is threatening to take a pawn on H5. I'm going to on H4, pardon. I'm going to go H5 and try to keep all my stuff. Knight F6 check against Carvallis. Looks nice. F5 from Nezhmadinov. Yes, we're always waiting for Nezhmadinov to come up with something like that. Now we got to see what to do here. B4 is something to look at. Where will his bishop go? So that's a possibility. What else? Bishop to B2, something nice. I'm going to try B4. Okay, we got Trivial Pursuit to back up with Knight to B7, and I'm keeping an eye out for things here. Still looking at A4, but if I go A4 and he goes B4, I'm not really sure what that is. I don't know if B4 is anything for me to worry about. I'm just going to go Rook AD1, continue to develop. Hayen has gone Rook to D4. Hayen's finding some pretty good stuff here. I mean, I thought I had clear advantages sometimes in this opening. And then, really, I don't. I don't even know if I'm better. Okay, Pearl Hacker. It feels like I might have some shots coming up here. Does Bishop F3 do anything? That's a question. I'm going to try Bishop to F3, aiming over there at his rook. Okay, Aslan has gone Rook on FC8. I'm going to go Rook to C1. The control of that C file is helping me out a lot. Rook takes E5 against Trivia, and then it changed. I hope I didn't do a mouse slip again on the board. The thing just switched boards as I was in mid-move. Okay, so let's see now. In the Trivial Pursuit game, I can't tell when does Knight F5 do something is what I'm wondering. I get the bishop pair, but so what? And then we have A4s and stuff like that. It seems like this position looks like it's not so bad for him. All right, I'm going to try Bishop to B3. The boards keep switching. We'll see if mouse slips happen. Bishop D7 from No Mercy for you. And now let's see. At what moment do I take on G6 against No Mercy for you? I think I'm just going to go Queen to F3 and try and double rooks. Indiana Fats has gone D6, and let's see what's going on with this one. So Queen takes E5, and then I went Rook E1, and then he went D6. Absolutely reasonable move, and now I'm looking at stuff here. Queen takes. Let's see. Queen takes A7, maybe. What's the deal there? I'm going to try Queen takes A7. Moving Dutchman has gone C5. So if I take on C5, he takes back with what? Maybe he can take back with the D pawn even. D5 is a kind of a Benoni sort of thing to do, but it just doesn't look right there, does it? So let me try Bishop to G3. Rook FD8 from ears, and let's see what to do. Knight to B3, wondering about. Where's this knight going? All right, let's go knight to B3. Exchanging rooks from Trivial Pursuit. I'll take back with the rook. And now Aslan has gone rook to B8, playing solidly. And I don't know. Maybe I can make a draw here. I got him tied to that B pawn, but I'm not really sure what I could do, to tell you the truth. All right, I'm gonna come up with my king. Although I have to be a little careful. If I come up with my king, does he have ways to bother me? I'm gonna try rook to C7 there. Okay, knight to G8 from Maj. And I'm going to go rook A, D1, and pressure his D6 pawn. We got doubling rooks from Hayen. I'm going to go bishop to B1. And C4 from No Mercy for You. And then the big question here is at what moment do I do something? That's the question. All right, I'm going to go rook F2 and try and double rooks. Rook C8 from Trivial Pursuit. Well, I just don't know if I have any advantage here. Let's try knight f5 now. We got Nejmadinov to retreat his bishop, and I'm gonna let's see what do I do now? I'm gonna go bishop to b2, rook to f5 from Carvallis, and I got to admit I didn't see that move. And so but I think that I have queen g4 protecting all my stuff, or queen h4 even protecting all my stuff. So I think I'm going to go queen to g4. Knight takes d4 from Moving Dutchman. Trading queen. Ears has offered a queen trade, and I think I have to do it. And Trivial Pursuit. What happened? Queen takes f5 is check. And now, Hayen, I'm looking at this stuff, this bishop g5s. I got knight g5s. Which one's is better here? I'm going to try knight to g5. And we have Pearl Hacker has gone e5 to stop my bishop move. And now, what's the way to do this? Is knight f5 interesting? Knight to b3. Knight to e2. Let's see. I really want to go. Knight to f5. So let me see if I could do that. All right. Now, Ears is attacking. Well, Ears isn't attacking my e pawn because it's pinned. So can I just build up maybe? With let's see, let's I don't know if I go rook d2, he might go knight c4. So he's got knight c4 as some sort of annoying idea here. I'm going to go bishop c1. I think Ears is defending well here. I mean, he's defending. The game that I really like in that opening was a game where Balashov is playing against Podevsky. Queen to f3 from Carvallis. I'll trade queens. G5 from No Mercy for You. Okay, now the No Mercy for You is which knight goes into H5. Let's go knight H5 and get rid of it and see. Rook to B7 from Indiana Fats. And now I got to see where do I go with my queen? Maybe queen all the way back to A3. Let's go all the way back to A3 and see how that looks. Okay, bishop E6 from Nejmadinov, and let's see what is this about. I'm just going to go A3 and protect my pawns. Bishop takes G5 from. Let's see. Yeah, bishop takes G5 from Hayen was okay. Now Carvallis has gone rook takes F3, and isn't he just down 2 pieces here? So I just don't want to. I want to just make sure all my stuff is protected. I'm going to go rook takes d6. It's got to be an easy win. Movement Dutchman has gone e5, and it starts to look like a Sicilian a little bit after knight b3. Queen takes h5 from No Mercy for You. Knight c5 from Carvalles. And what's the best way to do this? Should I just can I just offer a trade of rooks? Rook to d4 looks pretty good. Okay, queen h, no mercy for you. Ay ay ay. Now, what's happening? I guess if my queen doesn't get trapped, I'm wondering about knight to g4, but I have to make sure my queen doesn't get trapped in there somehow with a bishop e8 or some such. So, let's see. Karpov was always getting his bishop there or something. So I got to be careful. Knight g4. If he moves his rook somewhere, and I go queen g6, I don't know. I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna try. I think h4 looks like a good move. Try and pry him open. Okay, we got moving Dutchman to go bishop f8. It really looks like a Sicilian now, and usually the thing in these Sicilians is when should I go c4 or something like that. Knight d5 and then c, but I can't get c4 in. So what's happening here? Queen f2, bishop to f1 to go there. I'm going to try bishop to f1. A funny looking move, but my center is protected and the bishop could be useful there. Okay, now let's see here. Corvallis has gone king g7. I'm going to go rook takes c6. King g8 from no mercy to you. All right, but no mercy for you. I'm going to try and snatch this pawn now. I'm going to go knight g4 because it's check, so I'm not getting trapped. Maybe that's some sort of big deal there. Okay, Hayen, I'm going to go h3 against Hayen just in case rook g4 is some kind of threat. Queen takes b2 from Indiana Fats. I'm going to trade the queens. That's an interesting position. Queen c7 from moving Dutchman. And I'm going to go knight to d5, just like they do in the Sicilians. Rook takes e6 against Corvallis. Seems like it's the right thing to do. And let's see what to do here against Nizhmadinov. At what moment can I go knight to b3? At what moment? Let's say I go knight b3 here. Could I? I mean, he gets my c pawn. I get his d pawn. I don't know. So I'm gonna try knight to b3. Okay, here comes Aslan's king with king f7. King f8, pardon. Now, I'm just on the lookout. I'm going to go king to c2, see if I can cross my king there. Queen c7 for Maj. Let's see. As usual, Simon's been going for about an hour. I think I have one win. Let's see. Queen c7 for Maj. I'm looking to see if I can pry Maj open with anything here. Making sure that knight a5 stuff doesn't really do anything. All right, I'm going to try pawn to b4 against Maj. And I'm going rook check against Corvallis. And knight d6. Aslan is trying to get a trade of rooks. I'm going to go king d2 and get out of the way. So I crossed. Okay, moving Dutchman has gone rook a c8, and I'm going to go pawn to c4. And let's see what's happening here against Corvallis. It seems like I'm taking a lot of stuff here. And also, it would be nice to mate him in one, which I think bishop h6 is. So I think I'm doing okay. So far, so good in this simul. All right, now, Pearl Hacker, what to do here? Queen d5 is a brutal-looking move. I don't know if it does anything. He goes rook a7. I guess I should just go bishop e3 and develop somebody. We got Aslan has gone rook b7, and now let's see. I want to keep the rooks on the board. His king could cross, and then I'm just going to leave. I'm going to leave there. I wonder if I can go running around my rook. I'm going to go rook c6. These boards keep switching right in the middle of a move. It's very annoying. Okay, a5 removing Dutchman. Very positional. Looks like a right thing to do. And let's see. And I'm going to see if f4 is something that I should do. Knight takes c4 from Nizhmadinov. Bishop takes d4 for me. Rook A D8 from Ears. Ears is playing very solidly. And now let's see what to do here. Do I want to go rook to D3? I got to make sure. I think I'm just going to go G3 and take my time. King to, we got King E7 from Aslan, and I'm going to go rook A6. And it's stuck on that board, so we have a slight break here. I think I have 2 wins, no losses yet, so let's see if I could get a good simul this month. U.S. Open, I'm playing in the 4-day schedule. The U.S. Open starts. There's a long schedule. There's all kinds of schedules. I remember when Goichberg started that stuff up. You know, it's like very interesting to have all these schedules. Bishop E3 from Hayen. I'm trying to soften Hayen's king side up and get there a little bit, but so I'm trying to back his rook up. Moving Dutchman captures on F4. I take back with the bishop. What's going on here? It feels like normal Sicilian. He does have the E5 square. Aslan has gone rook C7. The good thing about the double pawns is they're covering lots of squares. All right, now let's see what to do against Hayen. I'm thinking about queen to... Now, hold on here. Hayen, I could go for material. Bishop E4 traps the rook, I think. So I could go for material. I was going to go queen H4. And his queen H4, it hits the pawn. But going for material with bishop E4 must be the right thing to do. No trade of rooks from Aslan. I'm going check. Rook takes rook for moving against moving Dutchman. Okay, king to we have a king to D8 from Aslan. Now, what's the deal here? Trying to break through. Is G6 any good? G6, what does he do? All right, I'm going to try G6. Maybe my rook starts running around on the 7th. Who knows? Rook C1 against Maj. Got to defend my pawn. Bishop G7 against moving Dutchman. Now, what's he up to here? Why can't I snatch this H6 pawn? He's up to, is some kind of knight E5 thing going to bother me? This is the question. I think that may be what he's up to. So he might be up to some knight E5 business here. Let's see what to do. I'm looking at, he's got a lot of tricks there. So bishop takes, H6, knight E5. And he's threatening knight F3, of course, and maybe knight takes C4 too. So what would be a good way to stop that? Looking at knight to D4. Knight to D4, but then he has knight to E5. So he's got some ideas here for sure to bother my pawns and to threaten some forks. So I don't know. I'd really like to go bishop takes, but I don't know. Then let's see, bishop takes and then knight E5. All right, I'm going to try bishop takes H6 and see what the story is there. Bishop takes B2 from Indiana Fats, and now let's see what to do here. I'm trying to see what do I have any tricks here? Bishop H6s, stuff like this. Let's see, bishop to B3. I think I'm just going to go bishop B3 and protect my stuff for now. And pawn takes H6 from Aslan. Let's see, queen D8 from Hayen. I'm gonna take his rook. So I went for material. It's up the exchange. I'm not sure. I suppose he has a little bit of something. Okay, Aslan has gone rook up, and I'm going to go rook check. I don't know. Maybe it's becoming a draw. I'm going to go bishop E2 against moving Dutchman. We got Pearl Hacker, bishop to B7, And let's see, what do I do here? I'm thinking about just defending something. What about queen to d2? Okay, now against Hayen, I would really like to trade some rooks. What is the best way to do this? I've got him bottled up. If I can trade rooks, that would put him in deep trouble there. So let's see. I don't know. Pawn to b3. I don't want to give him any passed pawns. Queen to f3. I don't want to give him any pawns. So what's the right way to do this? So I snatch some material. I'm going to try f4 and then get the queen out. Okay, Aslan has offered me a draw, and it's something that I really have to, unless I don't have anything funny, I'm going to take Aslan's draw. So it was a solid game. I think the final position, a draw, is a very fair result. Okay, let's see what to do here against Maj. Maj, I'm thinking of opening with c4. We got Indiana Fats has gone bishop to c3, and I'm gonna just go rook to b1 and get my rook out of the way. And it's an unbalanced position. I have to be careful his center doesn't run up and bother me. Rook to d3 from Hayen. Okay, yep. Taking the square, pinning me, and I'm going to go queen to f2. Queen takes h6, removing Dutchman, and let's see what's happening here. Queen d5 from Hayen looks like a good move. Now, I like I said, well, hold on. I don't know. Did Hayen give me any f5 trick here? I'm going to try f5 with Hayen. Now, I just want to open it up. Bishop f6 from Nejmadinov. I'm going to take on an f6 and do some knight c5. Knight takes c4 from moving Dutchman. Okay. So, if let's say I go rook c1, he goes bishop takes d5. I wonder if I could tie him up somehow here. Let's see. All right, I'm going to try rook c1. And against Hayen, I'm going to try to sacrifice here. I'm going to go e6. Try and open up for the rooks. What good are rooks if they're not open? He took, and I guess I'll take it back. And what does he take it with? So he took it, and now let's see, what am I doing here? Is bishop to c5 a good move or not? That's a good question. All right, bishop takes d5 for moving Dutchman. All right, now, I would like to keep him from moving stuff. So, but how to do this? How to keep moving Dutchman tied up? I tie him up on the c file. I'm going to try queen to f4 and see if I could keep him pinned. We'll see how that goes. Indiana Fans has gone rook to c7. I'm going to go pawn to a4 and see if that pawn can bother him a little bit. Yes, Hayen played knight f6, which I think is a good move. And now I have to see what's the deal here with these with this pawn sack that I did. Can I go? I'm going to try bishop to e7 and see if I can bother him. Okay, we had Maj has gone queen back to b8, and I'm going to see now. Do I want to? I think I'm going to take on b5. Nejmadinov has gone queen takes f6. I'm going to go knight c5. We got a rook d2 from Hayen. I'm going to go rook to e2. Hayen, you know, in the Hayen game, I felt like I had to go for the material, right? And I went to the, but maybe I don't know. Maybe maybe it's sometimes it's better not to go for the material. So very, very interesting. Okay, Indiana Fans has gone bishop to a6, and now is he bothering my rooks in these positions? I get rook d1, bishop e2. No, I guess I go rook to d1, and I got to ask Sandro about these boards. Just keep on switching right in the middle of when I'm making a move, so it's just annoying. All right, let's see how to build up on Maj. I'm gonna trade some rooks. Trading rooks against ears. A5 from Pearl Hacker. And now, what's the best way? I'm going to put pressure on Pearl Hacker's pawn, trading rooks from ears, and now what to do here? I guess I should just come over with my king. All right, now moving Dutchman has gone queen e7, so this is a tricky business here. Something to do with queen e1 check and queen d2. So if I go bishop takes, rook takes, he has check, and so that's what he gets there. All right, so can I just make a nice calm move here and play bishop to f1? Let's just see if we can do that. Okay, so we got Maj has gone bishop takes c8. And I'm gonna go rook to c1, take the open file. Queen takes e2 against Hayen. Rook d8 against Nejmadinov. Let's see. Queen to c1 against Nejmadinov. Positionally, I'm better because if his pawn was back on f7, he'd be happier, I think. So, these, got to be careful about the anti-positional moves. Okay, now let's see what Hayen has gone. Knight to e4. And I'm looking just for obvious stuff here. Like, all right, I'm going to try rook to d1. Would be nice to get a rook d8 and start chasing him around. Don't know if that's going to happen, but possible. So a lull in the action. Simul's been going for a little over an hour. Feels like a fast simul this week. Have all the games are good games. Some of the people got blown out in the openings. Got to be careful of the openings. Ears is playing very solidly. Indiana Fats is playing a good game. And what's going on with Hayen? Okay, Maj has gone bishop to e6. Seems sensible. Maj is just a little bottled up here. That's the only thing. So let's see what the deal is here with Maj. Do I want to take on e6 and go queen to d5 maybe? I'm going to try that and get in there and see if I could get some holes. Okay, Hayen has gone knight to g3. And what happens if I do the simple queen to e1? There's a lot of stuff attacked. Let's do the simple queen e1 and attack a knight and a queen and see how he proposes to defend all of them. Okay, knight e6 for Maj, and I'm going to go queen into d5 and see if I could back him up a little bit. Maybe tie him up to the b pawn. So I was watching the World Cup a lot because my friend, it's my friend Mike Coyne's fault. Funmaster Mike. It's his fault. Now look, against Pearl Hacker, I started to go rook fd1 and it went rook to e1. So I would like to talk to Sandro about this. This is, if my rook is on d1, I go knight e7 and queen d6 and the game is over. But it pulled up as the board switched, my rook went to e1. So as you could tell, I'm annoyed. Thank you. Now, and some woman is talking to me over here. I don't know what she's talking about. All right, now I'm going to play. I'm looking here to see if rook d1 is still a good move. So I'm going to go rook to d1. This time I'm doing it. Okay, so we know what the story is. Okay, moving Dutchman has gone rook to c6. So I do have him tied up a little bit here on the file. So now, what's the next deal here? Can I go, if I go knight to d4, what happens? I'm going to go knight to d4, and then he's going to go rook to c5, and I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it could be a draw. Let's see. Okay, queen f7 from Nizhmadinov, and let's see now. That's a solid-looking move. What to do here? I would like to open him up. But how to open them up? Let's see. Anything with any tricks? E4 maybe. I don't know. What does E4 do though? So I'm looking for some position here. So I'm going to go queen to C3. And now let's see what's happening here against moving Dutchman. Suppose I just go knight back to b3. Is it draw a decent result here? I'm going to look out for tricks. I'm going to go knight to b3. I suppose a draw is a decent result here. Okay, but now he's gone rook back to c7. Let's see. Now, I still can't do this bishop takes because of queen check and then queen e2. So I still can't do that. So now, has he freed his knight to move, is what I'm wondering. Has he freed his knight to move? So, let's see. My king is open a little bit. Let's see. Knight to d4. He might be able to snatch on b2 sometimes. What else? Queen to d4. Hits the bishop. All right, I'm going to try queen to d4, hit the bishop. We have king f8 from ears, and I'm going to go king e2. So Ears is thinking. Ears playing very solidly. Okay, we got Indiana Fances annoying my rooks. He's gone bishop to e2, and I'm going to go rook. I got to go rook to c1. So my rooks are getting a little bit chased around in these deals. So rook to c1. My pawns are protected, and we got to see if can he get his center going. Nizhmadinov has castled. Okay. Now, any crazy attacks or anything like that? I'm going to try rook on ac1 against Nizhmadinov. Obvious threat. Shh. No, somebody offered me a draw. Nizhmadinov offered me a draw. Nah, I'll play. I like my position. See, if he leaves his the threat is knight takes e6 and queen c4. Okay, Indiana Fans trying to get his center going. I'm going to try and get the side. Because of a what? It says Ears didn't try make it to Quebec because of a bird's nest. I have no idea what that means. She says she saw it on YouTube, so who the heck knows what's going on here? All right, now, Rook FD8 from Pearl Hacker. Can I snatch a pawn? This is the pawn I wanted. This was a pawn I didn't get before. Give me my pawn. I still don't know if it's a pawn. All right, I'm going to take it. I hope it's a pawn. I worked hard for that pawn. Okay, now, against Maj, knight to G5. I feel like I should capture somebody on G5. The thing about capturing somebody on G5 is that his knight comes to F6, which I really didn't want. I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering about just I'm just wondering about just knight to D2 and leave everybody where it is. All right, I'm going to go knight to D2 and leave everybody where it is. And then the big question is, well, I don't know if he's tied to the B pawn, so that's good news. Okay, King E8 from Ears. Ears playing solidly. I'm going to come out with bishop to E3. What is something about a bird's nest? I don't know what that means. There was in Quebec City. We went to a crepe place with it had crepes with scallops. It was really good. I mean, I don't know. You know, I mean, the crepes. I always thought it was a little bit of a sissy dish. You know, I mean, it's a jam, and then I'm running around, and it was a scallop with a shrimp and a crevette or something, and I'm running around talking about jambon and avec fromage. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about here. So the whole thing's ridiculous, but we had a good time. Canada is a very nice country to go to and probably to live also. All right. Give me that pawn, Pearl Hacker. Will Pearl Hacker get his pawn back? What's the story here? Worked hard for that pawn. It would have been nicer if the rook went there before. I'm sorry to complain about this so much, but it's you know, it really what do you call it? It really got my goat, as they say. Ears is maneuvering very well. I'm maneuvering. Okay, I don't know. Let's see what's happening with Indiana Fats. Okay, let's see. Moving Dutchman's protecting all of his stuff. Queen to E6. So now, I don't know. Movement Dutchman. I got him tied up, but what's the next thing to do? Try and keep him tied on the C file, I guess, is the deal. King D8. Ears is king's marching. That's a marching king. Okay, now what do I do here? I'm going to go H4 against Ears. Take a little space. Knight F6 from Pearl Hacker. All that work for that pawn. I don't even know if I'm getting it. All right. Do I trade rooks? Trade rooks on Pearl Hacker. He's hitting my E-pawn. If I take and go bishop E6, he goes back. That seems like it might be the right thing to do. Moving Dutchman unpinned with a tempo. If I go rook takes, he's got knight F3. So I have to go knight to D2. And we got Nejmadinov has gone bishop to D5. And I got to take that. He has to take it back with a pawn. Now, what's going on here? Pearl Hacker. Bishop to B6. What's the story there? All right. I'm going to go bishop to B6 against Pearl Hacker and see what happens. Rook D8 from Maj. Okay. And I'm going to go knight to B3. Positional game against Nejmadinov. Let's see. What do I do here? Queen to D4 or something looks nice. Any tricks? E3. E3 looks like it could be sensible. Some slight advantage, perhaps, against Nejmadinov. H5 again. Ears has gone H5. Looks like a good move. Let's see what to do here now. I'm going to go Bishop G5, pin Ears his knight. See how he feels about that. King to E8 from Ears, okay. And let's see here. I'm going to go Bishop G2. This is some maneuvering game we got going here. Oh, I'm playing pretty fast today, though, which is a good thing. What? Somebody's like making... But anyway, those crepes were really good. There was another place called The Hobbit something, which wasn't bad, except that it took forever to bring the order. So that's the story with The Hobbit. Let's see now what's going on here with Moving Dutchman. I'm not sure. When I was playing Moving Dutchman, somehow I lost a pawn and didn't really notice, which is a little bit stupid to not notice when you've lost a pawn. And I reckon it was when he took my C pawn and my D pawn. So it is really not good. I have to pay attention. So I think I might just be lost in such a case then. And probably I could have handled the pin stuff better. Okay, let's see what's going on here with Maj. Maj has offered me a queen trade on A8. So if I take B5, it's queen takes A2. It's a pass pawn. I don't know if I let Maj trade queens on. All right, now I think if I trade queens against Maj, can I bother the B pawn? All right, I'm going to trade queens against Maj. We got knight D6. Nejmadinov has moved his knight back, and I'm looking to see. I think I'm going to go queen to D3. C5 for Moving Dutchman, and I'm going to go queen to E3. I think that I'm just lost there. Now, Indiana Fats has gone bishop to D2. And he's going to win the exchange, but I have a pass pawn to bother him with. So is that going to be enough for me to bother him? That's the question. So I'm going to lose the exchange here with one of the, but which bishop should I want here? I think I'm going to try rook to E1. Let's see if he wants to take that one. Okay, we have Ears has gone knight G8. Looks like a good move. I'm going to go bishop H3. Does that provoke something? I'm really trying to provoke things. Okay, knight to... Let's see what to do here against Maj. All right, let's try knight to A5 and then see if I can get some pieces in there. I'm always keeping an eye on when bishop takes G5 is going to be good. So it looks okay. Moving Dutchman, I've never beaten the guy, I don't think. I think we've had some draws where I've had winning positions, but a very tricky guy. Knight E4 from Nejmadinov. Nejmadinov is playing very solidly, not bad at all. Let's see what to do here. Let's see. I'm looking at stuff. I'm gonna try queen to D4. Bishop takes E1. Rook takes E1 from Indiana Fats. Do I have enough to make a draw here, or at least defend? At least my position is pretty solid. Rook A8 from Pearl Hacker, okay. And now, all right, so Pearl Hacker is going to try and take my E-pawn. I got him tied up a little bit. Let's see. So I'm going to just try to protect my E-pawn and then just build some. All right. Now, I got ears to loosen himself up for what it's worth. And now I got to see with the taking on F5, what will he take it back with? All right, I'm going to take on F5. So it got sharp all of a sudden. I'm not sure if Ears was bargaining for that deal. All right, Nejmadinov has gone B6. I'm going to go knight to D3. Ears has gone G takes F5. Do I have any tricks here? I'm going to try bishop back to G2. I'm trying to hassle Ears. Now, let's see what to do here against Indiana Fats. What does he bother me on the C file? I'm wondering. I'm going to try rook to D1. Okay, it looks like King G7. I think my position against moving Dutchman is just terrible. So that game, I think my position was right there, and then I probably had him tied up on the C file too. Let's see what to do here against Maj. Maj has gone knight back to F7. And I'm looking to see how to make progress here. I'm going to try knight to E2 against Maj. Let's see. We got Ears has been gone rook F7. I feel like I'm starting to get the better of Ears in this game. Let me give him a bishop check. Knight E5 against Nejmadinov. I'm just gonna trying for a positional edge here. King F8 against Ears, and now I'm gonna go bishop to D5 and hit Ears' rook. And somehow this turned out great for me. All of a sudden, that bishop H3 thing. Well, I mean, I got lucky there. I got lucky, and Ears got unlucky. Okay, and what happened to Ears is, let's see, can Ears get out of this? I go bishop to E6, and his Ears is rook trapped. Pretty weird stuff. All of a sudden, my bishops got going. Maybe after bishop G2, Ears had to try E4, but then I thought his pawns are gotten loose there. So that, okay, Ears has gone rook to E7, and now bishop takes G8. Looks pretty good. So, solid game, Ears, but somehow I got lucky with bishop H3. The opening was very solid. Slightly worse, normal perk, advanced, what do you call it? Normal perk, classical is what I'm trying to say here, I think. Okay, now, Indiana Fats has gone D5, and I'm going to go F4 and see if I get my king into it. Okay, now we got to see Nejmadinov. He has an isolated pawn, and his position's a little loose. I think I should be a bit better here. Okay, Pearl Hacker has gone F6, but that takes away a square for him. Now, I'm wondering about rook to D1. Where is his knight going? Maybe I can still hassle his pawns. Maj has gone bishop to D8. And I'm just going to go bishop to D2 and maintain that knight there and see if I could unravel myself. Bishop to C6 from Pearl Hacker. And I'm going to go pawn to B3. So I think what I like here is I like the fact that my bishop on E3 is lurking around there, ready to bother the B6 pawn at any point. So that's going to be the story there. All right, now, Nejmadinov, do I want to offer him a trade of queens on D4? Or do I just want to hang out a little bit? All right, I'm going to go rook to C3. Maybe I'll just tie him up a little bit on the D file. I could offer a trade of queens anytime. Okay, here comes Pearl Hacker's king, and let's see what to do here. Looking at rook to D6. All right, I think I'm going to go bishop to E2. I'll take the opportunity to put my bishop on a better diagonal. No bishop E4. D7 is hanging. Rook C8 from Indiana Fats. And let's see what's the story here. What does he want from me? I'm going to go rook to D4. Knight E7 from Maj, and I think I'm just going to go rook to C2 and protect my stuff and see if I could get something going here. Maybe move my knight out of there because B pawn is at target at some point, I think. So I didn't see what happened in Dortmund. Dortmund is a nice chess festival. I played there once in 1986. I had a good time. Very good beer. The Dortmunder DAB, Dortmunder Acton Brewery or something. Very good beer. Tremendous beer. I was there. Nigel Short was playing in the tournament. Smysloff, Ribley, Hort, Miles. A really strong tournament. It was also a nice town. And I forgot the name of the hotel, but it was in the King's something or other, and it was really a nice hotel. And the German breakfast is excellent. All right, now, Pearl Hacker. I feel like Pearl Hacker is starting to drift a little bit here. Bishop C4 check. I'm after him with these bishops. These bishops look nice. And that A5 pawn there, I'm looking at it, and one of these days my bishop's going to get to B6, and then I'm going to be chewing on some pawns. And I'm still mad about that rook thing that's happened there. I'm still mad. All right, Nejmadinov's king's coming up. What do they say? The king's a fighting piece or something. So here comes Nejmadinov's king. I think he should be careful now. The way for me to increase pressure here is probably to go F3 and E4, but I could prepare it. I have them all tied up. I could prepare it for years. So I want to see what's the best way. Or maybe the way to do this is I fool around a little bit, maybe switch my rooks off, rooks to the open file. Maybe I try to do something else. Rook C6 from Indiana Fats. And he could probably sack the exchange and be up a pawn. So I'm going to just go rook to B4 there and see if I could keep him from doing that. All right, Pearl Hacker, I'm just going to go F3 and protect my pawn. This is when the bishop pair is nice. This is an excellent bishop pair. Controlling the pieces. He's tied up to A5, very passive play. So it looks pretty nice for me here. So one lost game against moving Dutchman. And Pearl and Indiana Fats has the better position also. D5 from Maj, okay, and now let's see what to do here. Maj, do I go pawn takes pawn? All right, I'm going to go pawn takes pawn. Okay, H3 from H6 from Pearl Hacker, just biding his time. And now we got to see here. Rook to d6 looks good. A3 against Monge protects some stuff. Try to just go slowly here. King f8 from Indiana Fats. King's coming up. Any tricks? Bishop to a4. He would just go back. So I think that I'm going to come up. I'm going to come up with my king. The only question is when his king gets up there, do I have to worry about f6 and e5? So this one, it feels like could be a tough defense here. Okay, we got Nezhedinov has gone queen to e6, and I mean, at some point I'm going to have to do this f3 and e4 thing. I think I'm just going to try it right away. So because of the pin, e4 is going to be strong. Double rooks. The rook takes d7, but let's see. He may still have defenses here. Okay, now we got a bishop to e8 from Pearl Hacker. And I'm going to bishop to d5. I'm wondering about from Pearl against Pearl Hacker. Bishop to d5. Where will his rook go? The rook has to go to c8. What is he up to anything here? Rook to a6 might be a nice move for me. I'm going to try rook to a6. Let's get those rooks off. King e7 from Nezhedinov, and he's protecting all of his stuff. So that's a nice move on his part. I'm going to go king f2. He's defending well. Rook to d6 from Nezhedinov. Good move. I'm going to go h4. I'm going to see at some point, can I crack him, or is it just a draw? It's possible that that it could just be a draw here. Okay, f6 from Indiana Fats. Let's see. What am I doing here? I'm going to try g5. I'm trying to see if my bishop, if I can ever get my bishop into the game. The danger is that he gets it. Well, it's really only one pass pawn. It's not connected because there's a pawn on c2. So it seems it's not ideal. I have to look this opening up and work on it with my students because they're all playing this thing, and I think Indiana Fats played very well in the opening, and got nice pressure and got the better pawn structure out of it. H5 from Nezhedinov. I thought it was a little controversial, but it doesn't seem bad. Okay, now, what sort of tricks do I got here? I don't know. I mean, I'm running around my rooks. I don't know if there's ever a way to play for e4. Queen to b2. If I if I switch my rooks to e4, he can move his king away. So, I don't know. E4 for me here takes. What's going on? I don't see anything at all here that's clear. Or I'm going to try queen to d3. Probably play a few more moves, and if nothing happens, draw it is. The best thing I could say about my game with Indiana Fats is he's getting into some time pressure. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's going to be enough though. We got to see his king's coming up. My king's coming up. At some point, he's going to push his pawns, but I don't know. Is it if I can hold here? Make sure I'm counting 4 pawns of 4 pawns, not like I did against Moving Dutchman. Moving Dutchman, I'm playing the position. I think everything's even. All right, Nezhbedinov. All right, I'm just going to try see A4 if I can open up this side. I don't know what that's going to do. Rook to F7 from Indiana Fats. And what's he trying to do to me here? Is Rook F1 bothering me somehow? All right, I'm going to try Bishop to D4. See if my rook can get in there. Some time pressure. And so U.S. Open is in Madison. Well, it's actually in Middleton, Wisconsin. You fly into Madison. I'll be going there. I don't know. Usually it's a pretty strong tournament because it's a qualifier for the U.S. Championship. And I don't know if I qualified for the U.S. Championship. I might be too scared to play at this point. All right, let's see what Maj has done. Bishop to B6. And let's see. And what sort of thing can I do here? I'm gonna try Rook to C6. See if I could just tie him up a little bit. Maybe make some threats. All right, we got Indiana Fats has gone Rook to B7. I'm gonna go Bishop back to B6. So he tested a little bit, and nothing happened. I don't know if I have a better move than Bishop to B6, but I don't think so because my rook doesn't have many squares. So the usual routine when somebody's got rooks is to try and plug them to keep the rooks from going hog wild on the open board. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Okay, Rook to D7 from Nezhbedinov, and let's see. I'm going to try Queen to B5. Just creep around, try and tie him up. I don't know if there's any Zugzwangs. Certainly my king, both our kings are, his king's a defensive piece, my king's just protecting stuff. I don't know, I don't think there's any, I shouldn't say, I mean, there could be some king and pawn ending possibilities. I mean, everything has to be looked at because there could be lots of trades if I ever go E4. So tied up a little bit, but to the D pawn. It's a typical kind of isolated pawn position. I never thought there are some coaches that teach kids how to play the Tarish variation where you just wind up. You remember it's the opening where Kasparov won against used it to beat Smyslov in a candidates match, right? And okay, so let's see. I'm going to go Bishop D4 against Indiana Fats again. And let's see what he's up to here. I mean, okay, E4 from Maj. And now, so Maj is getting aggressive here with E4. And all right, so I'm going to go. I don't know about this from Maj. I was going to make a move there. And the boards have to stop switching here. This is, this is just ridiculous. Okay, so now let's see what to do against Nijmedinov. Any ideas here? Does A5 do anything? Can my queen try to get into his position somehow? I don't really see how. So I think I'm going to offer Nijmedinov a draw. He played some very tough defense there. And draw. Very tough defense from Nijmedinov. Not bad at all. Weird opening, but very solid. Okay, let's see what we now. I did not mean to go C3 against Indiana Fats, so I meant to go bishop to B6 and it went C3. So I'm thinking of resigning here because it's ridiculous, and the ICC has to do something about these goddamn boards. Okay, because this is terrible to lose a game like that. Because the board, and it does it all the time. So it needs to be fixed. Otherwise, this is just stupidity. All right, let's see what's up. I'm not sure that I like Maj's E5 move. What should Maj do here? I'm threatening knight takes D5 and rook takes B6. Knight takes C3, bishop takes C3, hits a lot of stuff. There could be bishop D8 defense there, but it could start getting a little passive. So what's Maj's best defense there? Bishop takes A5. I don't know. Bishop takes A5. What knight takes D5? Is there any stuff going on? I'm glad my pawn is on H3 from a long time ago here. With rooks running around the board, back rank could really be a problem, but it looks okay. I don't think E3 does anything. E3, it's probably pawn takes E3. I don't think I could let that go. Knight takes D5, pawn takes D2. That looks way too dangerous. I mean, it's too bad there was the mouse slip in the Indiana Fats game, because I go bishop back to B6. I don't know if he was going to take a draw there or not. I mean, he certainly has all the winning chances there, and and I'm just defending. Maybe he could bring his king up and push his pawns. It's not an easy win or anything, but after C3, after the mouse slip, then it's just lost. So there were several games with mouse slips, and they're both annoying. So we got to fix this. All right, Alhote, that game was a Sicilian. Alhote on knight E6 happened, threatening mate on G7. I think that he should have gone G6 instead of F5, and then his position's not bad. While Maj is thinking, I'll do a fast review. Let's see. Aslan 777, that was the center counter, and Aslan 777 says there's a hole in every man's soul that only Jesus Christ can fill. Give him your life today. Well, thank you very much. I was an altar boy, so I did my job and whatever. Okay, so Maj is still thinking. Corvallis lost all of his pieces and got mated, but the opening was not bad for Corvallis. I mean, these Steinitz things, but you're accepting to be a little worse. And Corvallis, the knight B8 on move 13 was the beginning of some faulty business. So there was Corvallis. Let's see, Hayen. Hayen got two pieces got attacked after Queen E1, and but I feel like That opening, like I said, my friend GM Ilya Grigorovich taught me that opening a long time ago. I think he used it to win a game once against John Nunn, if I'm not mistaken. Marge still thinking. Let's see. Marge is still thinking. What else is there? Hippopotamus. 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 Well, the game. First of all, Hippopotamus moved too fast, and I think in Hippopotamus's opening, there should be some kind of thing like Bishop takes D4 and Queen takes D4 was the best. Also, I had a game with Boris Gulko, 1989 U.S. Championship. Was pretty interesting. Okay, let's see what Maj did. Maj did Bishop takes A5. Now, do I want to go? Do I want to go Knight takes D5? Knight takes D5. Then Maj has to go Bishop back to D8. And then does Bishop C3 accomplish anything for me? I don't know. Or if I take on A5, what is Maj up to? I think I'm going to try Knight takes D5. Just because to keep the structure there. And I'm going to try to hassle this F6 pawn. Maj is getting the time pressure. Is it the only game left? So could be. No mercy for you. What happened in this one? Oh, no mercy for you. Oh, brings back memories. Hey, I mean, after I saw that, I was a kid. I was playing chess for probably about like 8 months or something like that. I was playing chess for maybe 8 months when the game happened. Karpov Unzicker, one of the biggest positional crushes ever. Oh, I mean, Black has to be. I think that Black has to see F4 coming, and I mean, even if it's terrible, I think Black should take on F4. So check out that game. When this F4 happens, Black cannot allow White to push F5 because then it's just no counterplay on the other side. It's just a real easy buildup for White. So, it's good to know the classics, and that was certainly a classic. All right, let's see what's Maj doing. Maj is thinking the bishop has to move. I don't know. Could Maj be thinking about rook to D8 maybe? I don't know. I mean, is that really? I don't know about rook to D8. The pawn on A5 could get down there in a hurry. So beware of past pawns. Maj is getting into time pressure. 41 moves. Okay, all right. Maj has gone rook to D8, as we spoke about. Now, what's happening here? Well, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't sure about rook to D8 because this in between moves start happening here. Like, what about bishop to C3 for me? Hitting the F6 pawn with check. So rook takes D5, bishop takes F6 check, king moves, pawn takes A5. Looks very dangerous. And as I said about 10 minutes ago, I'm really glad that H3 was played because heir for the king makes my life much easier. If I didn't have heir for the king, probably wouldn't be able to go for some of these variations. Rook takes D5. Bishop takes F6. King moves. Somewhere. I don't know. I mean, maybe H6 is the safest square, but then the king is so far away from the action anyway that I don't know if the king would ever be any kind of factor in doing anything to that pawn. on a5. But let's see, can his rook manage to get behind it somehow? I must be getting punchy because I thought that on pawn takes a5 he had rook to a4, and I thought he was okay, but obviously that is extremely illegal. So I have this a pawn to bother him with, so I feel like this probably is winning now. I wonder if Maj just should have gone bishop back to d8. In this a couple moves ago, instead of entering into this variation with rook to d8. King h6. Let me have that bishop before some. I don't think there's any board switching going on here. All right, so my next deal, I'm gonna see if I can bother him with rook to c7, or get this pawn going. Looks like something this pawn could. Well, I mean, I could see some variation where maybe my bishop's on e3, and that pawn winds up on a7. That's a possibility. I'm not sure that his knight on f7 can ever go anywhere where it's going to bother me. So I think that I got that knight under control. Okay, bishop to e5. Knight to e5. Excuse me. Knight to e5. Now, bishop takes, rook takes, a6, e3, a7. I don't know about that. It's not very clear. So this so Amaj has come up with a decent move here. I think that maybe I have to move my rook. I'm going to go rook to c7. I don't think bishop takes knight was going to be a win. My pawns were butchered, and that e3 idea of getting behind certainly gave some drawing chances. So I figure this one looks like keeping more tension on the board, and I have some threats. I guess bishop g7 would be a threat to win another pawn. Also, the rook is nice when my pawn gets to a7. It's getting in there too. Knight c4. Okay, now let's see. I guess a6. Let's see. What does Monch have any ideas here? He's going to have to do it fast. I always have bishop g7 in between moves, and bishop moves hitting h7, trying maybe to win a pawn. I don't know if I can concoct some mates with maybe bishop check. Okay, let's see what this is. Looks like a7 must be right. Okay, rook a7. So he's behind the pawn. Okay, now let's give a bishop g7 check. I'm just trying to get my bishop to d4 and then free my rook to win his rook. Let's see. I don't see a move. I don't think his knight can get anywhere useful here. So idea is simple: rook to c8 and make queen and win a rook. Don't think his b pawn. I don't think taking on a3 will affect that at all. I don't know. I mean, I was a little bit extra accurate there by going. I mean, I'm not really going to take on the H pawn anyway. So let me just check this variation out here. What is he up to here? Does he want to do some? Does he have some kind of knight c2 idea? So if I go, should I go bishop check first? Okay, I go bishop check as king moves, and then I go rook up. That should be the most accurate way to do it. And he resigned. It was a tough game for Maj. The position we were wondering about was with the bishop to d8 in there. Instead of to go back to here, instead of rook to d8, in this position, bishop to d8. I don't know. And then I was looking at bishop c3, rook takes a3, and that's some sort of position there. So, but good simul, and 2 losses. Didn't was I think 1 draw. Pearl Hackers pawns were going. The bishop pair was dangerous. I don't know what happened here. To ears, it was just a pretty equal kind of position, and that was about it there. So that was ears. The moving Dutchman, always a tough opponent. Trivial Pursuit hung a rook, and good simul, people. So thank you very much. Thank everybody for playing. Thanks for Sandro taking care of us here. And so 9 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, not bad. Saturday afternoon during the summer, a lot of people didn't really want to play chess. So thank you, Moving Dutchman. And thanks, everybody. See you guys in August. Take care and enjoy ICC events and chess. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.